Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hello everyone, Craig here with another great business to discuss on this episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. Today's guest is selling his affiliate and Amazon Associates business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. So welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing very good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you for asking. And I'm looking forward to talking more about your business. But before we dive in, let's go over a brief summary of the business. It's an affiliate and Amazon Associates business in the survival and security niche, created in December 2016. The average monthly revenue for the business is $10,847, and it makes an average of $10,728 net profit each month. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 53402 to learn more about the business, or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So now that I've given a general overview of the business, let's have a look at what's included in the sale. We have 2 domains including all content and files for the sites, SOPs, employee contracts and relationships, a dropshipping store, and social media accounts for Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Flickr. Okay, so now let's hear from you. Can you tell us a little about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, sure. So basically, I started quite early. I started basically these kind of businesses when I was just 15 years old. I know that's quite early for most people, but that's when I started. And I think I was in high school maybe at that point. So when I was 16, I think 1.5 years, I was able to do a handsome amount every month. In that amount of in that period, some of my sites failed, some of sites grown up. So I started quite early. And if I tell more, I lost 2 of my biggest earners in March 2017. And that was from the Google Thread update. And that was the time when everything, the way I was doing the business, the way I had structured the business, that had been completely changed because that update hit me so hard. One thing was, I was getting started. It has been just it had just 1 year until I started this business. And then I think so I need to do something else, and I'm missing something else which I needed to do in order to have a grip on the businesses which I'm making, because I felt I had no control, even though despite the fact there are Google updates today too. But the thing is, at that point, a lot of things change.
Absolutely, yeah, that's the sort of biggest external factors that can affect a business is the likes of Google updates and I guess Amazon updates if you're on there as well. So yeah, what was it that you learned from that experience that you sort of applied to this business to help protect against those external forces?
So basically, I worked on 2 to 3 things, and if I talk about them, the first thing which I did was, I changed the mentality I was doing the business in 2006, in 17 when that update came. And before that, even though I started business in December 2016, but in that time, 5 to 6 months, this side was just sitting at my, I was not doing huge things for it, but it was just sitting right there. And I would say it was basically waiting the revolution that was going to come on it. So what I changed, I started to hire subject matter experts, and not just for this business, for all other businesses as well. I changed the mentality, I'm not going to build this business for just to make money. I started to make this as a brand. And that was the point I decided, I'm not going to do anything that will affect the growth in the short run. For example, getting gains in terms of making more money, but on a long run, that can affect the longevity of the business. And that was the point I started to hire the subject matter experts. And then, the way I was publishing the content, that had changed a lot. For example, I was using the tools called Market News, ClearScope, and the Surfer came later as well. So by combination of these tools, so I was optimizing the content. First, it was being written by the real subject matter experts, the people who have spent like years doing the things which I had a site about. And then on top of that, I had started to use the market news, ClearScope, and Surfer. Like Surfer later, definitely, but to optimize the content. And one thing, like I would say, that would take a big share what I changed. That was the way I was building the links for my businesses. And because in 2017 I had started the university as well, and maybe the later in 2018, yes. And I think because I had like done my semester in the university, because I had joined the journalism, so I started to utilize that knowledge in order to run the PR campaigns for this website. And other than PR campaigns, what changed was the way I was building links. I had like stopped everything like PBNs and things like that. And what I did, I started to like get links through the manual outreach. And you know what? Later on, the PR campaigns paid off like huge amount. We have been featured at New York Times, and we were even mentioned in Live Bulletin as well. There are a lot of other news publishers as well. Even this business has been mentioned, and that is even like mentioned into the description of this business too.
Wow, yeah, that's super impressive stuff, and it sounds like you've got a very solid SEO profile with this site, and being featured on the likes of the New York Times will certainly be great for brand recognition and brand growth. So can you walk us through the sort of growth of the business? So you earned from affiliate and Amazon Associates. Was that how you started out, or did you introduce one or the other later on when you were building the site?
So basically, in starting, we just went for the Amazon affiliate website, but later on in April 2020, we went for other programs as well when Amazon changed the commission rates. The reason was, as like in the industry, there was a lot of noise and people were hating the decision of Amazon. So we decided, let's find out other programs, and then we wanted to diversify. And even despite like it won't have happened, still we were going to like diversify our income to other programs as well. So, and I think that works as a push for us, and that was the time when we decided like we should go for a share or sale, and then other programs are available into the market. And then that was the point. And I think that helped us a lot in comparison to the other websites, because right here, in like at the same question, I want to say one more thing. In combination with changing the other programs, we also worked a lot on the conversion rate optimization, and that made our website like, if you compare this website and other websites in the niche, you will find out like with the amount of visitors, we are making money that is way more than our competitors or other websites in the niche. The reason was, if you look at the revenue of this website between, I think, October, and because we changed the design of this website in September, and then in October, and that was a time when we were doing a lot of testing, like just utilizing and just like putting a CTR to one program, and then testing between like, what if we put just one CTR to other program, and then like using both of them. So we were doing a lot of testing, and at the end we had a really good setup, and we were having a really good conversion rate.
Absolutely, yeah. And looking at the history of the earnings there, they've certainly increased since then. So yeah, Zero is certainly one of the unsung heroes in optimizing an online business, I feel.
And yeah, just one more thing, and that is the reason you won't see a huge difference like after the April. Yeah, it went down for a month or two, but after that, when we started to work on it, you will see like this business came back again with like a solid gains, and it's stable.
Yeah, absolutely, because you're making the most of the traffic that you're getting, and that's easy to be overlooked. Excellent stuff. So yeah, how come is it that you chose this niche in particular?
So basically, I would say there were two reasons why I chose this niche. The first was, like I would say every SEO would do, like they would be searching for the low hanging fruits, and they will try to find out like where they can start and where the competition is low, and they can get started. But for this specific website, the other reason for me was I was really passionate about this niche, and I just don't know why, but I was just in love with this niche. So that actually, made me to bring this website here, where it stands today. So I think my personal passion was a huge thing here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Having passion for the niche is certainly a motivator and a driver for you to work on it more and get it more successful. But I'd like to circle back to the earnings of the business, because I've just noticed on your listing page that your business used to also make money through dropshipping. Could you tell us a little about that?
Exactly. I think that makes me, I would say excited, because the reason was until the COVID came into the US, I was really, really excited about this because I did not have to do like other, I would say extra hard work for it. And I was making like a huge profit. So what I was doing is like every affiliate websites provide the CTR to the Amazon or other programs, but I decided let's find out the non-branded products. For example, let's try to find out the products which does not need the brand with it. For example, you cannot like I would say if someone is searching for the best Nike shoes, you cannot sell him something which is not Nike. But then there are some products which don't need to be branded. They are not popular just because of their brand name. And then you can like attach your own brand name with it. Even you can sell without even attaching the brand name. I actually saw like a number of pages which are getting traffic on this website and try to find out what are the products which do not need the branded name along with it. And then I chose one or two pages, and I would even say like maybe more than three, and they were getting a lot of traffic. And then I actually went to the AliExpress, like everyone goes for the drop shipping. So I chose a product and then I contacted supplier. Like I won't say like there were any special things, they were just normal things. And I just contacting them, hey, I'm looking to buy some products and I would be buying again and again and again. Can you make sure like every time you are shipping the product, you can give us like some extra special, like giving the fast delivery and making sure like packing is good and all that. And what we did, like we established a store on our subdomain of this website, for example, store.myname.com. And then we, instead of like driving clicks to the Amazon or other program, I started to drive clicks to my own store. And let me give you an idea how much profit I was making on each sale. So let's say if I would have like drove those sales to the Amazon, I might have get like $0.5 or maybe that's what you get on a $50 product or maybe $60 products or maybe a $1 maximum. But when I started to do that, I was making like $30 per product. And this is how that page helped a lot. But unfortunately, when the COVID hit, entire world was in a situation where deliveries were, delayed. So at that time, I stopped taking the orders. And let me tell you what happened. Entire 2020, we had like thousands of dollars of orders, at least I would say. I have not like calculated them. The reason was that was not included into the profit and loss file, but we had to, I would say refund every order and that they were coming in hundreds of dollars. I would say in a good amount. So what I was just doing is I was just refunding them like when I was not able to deliver the order. So I would say this is a really good opportunity for someone if he have to grow this business. Let's say if he have to find a way how to even like make more money like from the same traffic, I would say this can be a great thing to do because I was really excited about it. And not just on this business, they can do any business, I would say. So this makes it special.
Absolutely, yeah. It's certainly another way to diversify the earnings. Always great for a business, and we're usually great for a business. And having this business as a strategic acquisition to help grow another site could certainly be an opportunity. And the dropshipping stores are hosted on Shopify?
Yeah, that's like on Shopify for just $29 because we were not driving huge amount of traffic and we were just driving the traffic for specific pages. So it was not costing huge and we just kept it on Shopify.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you've got a great business here that's doing really well. So how come you're selling it right now?
The reason for that is, to grow more faster, to be honest. I would say I had no plan selling this business, like 20 to 30 days before, because since I started this business first, I was really passionate in this niche and I was always like, I had a plan to basically at least to make this business $1 million brand. And I just explained you about the drop shipping. Basically, I was testing different things to get even my own private label products in this niche. The only reason I got interested in selling this business was I have some other businesses as well. And over the course of like 5 years, I have built the best team. I have set up everything which I need. And you know what? The cash flow helps, to grow you faster. So I thought there's a time when you have to compare between different like businesses you are doing, and then you see like more profit on other business or something. I'm not saying like this business is not profitable or something. This is a really good business. And I would say like if I would have kept this business like 4 to 5 months more, maybe this would be touching $1 million. And I was really, really sure about it. And the way, let me explain you one more point why I think it. I actually did a quick comparison of the SERP for everybody who unlocks a listing. So if you look at that and analyze, you will see like from last three, like 30, 60, and 90 days, and I would say even the 6 months, this website is getting benefited by the Google updates. Like, I'm not saying like every single Google update which comes, it helps this business. But what I am just saying is if there would be 100 Google updates, and I would say like a 70 to 80 of them help this business. Even today, like if you go and check the SEMrush sensor today, there is some hot thing today as well. And today when I checked the SERP earlier, it got benefited again. So the reason I wanted to sell this business was because I have some other businesses as well where I need some cash flow to be, I would say, a multi-million-dollar brand, or at least, everybody can dream of. So I think that is the reason I thought, let's sell this business and then use that cash in order to grow other business.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a reason a lot of sellers sell, and no doubt that this site certainly seems to have a good SEO profile with ranking for hot keywords and stuff like that. So is there anything you've learned from this site that you will apply to your other sites?
Yeah, Craig, I would say many things because I started this website in 2016, and that was like starting of my career. So since that time, I learned many things. If I have to name few, then I would say like most of the people actually treat their website as an entity. Their domain.com, they believe this website is growing or this website is not growing. But basically, this business was the first business which we utilized this strategy that was like tracking everything on per page basis. So our company, we do not track anything as a whole. So what I did for this particular business, we created like a multiple tracking IDs for Amazon and then for other, like all the other affiliate programs which we are utilizing. Now, every page which is listed on this website has its own tracking ID. So now we know like how much exactly this page is making. And then what we do is after 30 days, we have a sheet where we import all the data from the Google, basically from the rank tracker. Then we utilize the Google Analytics, and then even we sometimes utilize the Amazon conversion or affiliate conversion data. And then actually we like get the data, like how much money that page has made altogether from all the affiliates. And then we compare, like, is it growing or it went down in comparison to the last month or before that month. So that's how we were able to calculate, like we were never basically treating this website as a whole, and we were treating like if we have to basically optimize something, and for example the page A has gone like 30% down or maybe 20% down, then we were investigating why this page has gone down. Most of the people actually calculate the performance of the page by the rankings. We have seen some points where rankings were the same, like, but intent of the people or something was missing in our page which were not converting the people. So that's how we were able to calculate everything on per page basis, even the conversion rate. And as I said earlier, this website has the best conversion, I would say, in comparison to other niche, because the way I look at them and then we see how much traffic, for example, if someone is getting more traffic than us, and then, for example, a few of the sites were sold on Empire's Flipper. So when I saw like they were not making like a huge amount in comparison, like they were getting more traffic than us at some point of life. So that's how I will keep implementing the same strategy on other websites as well. So other things which I would say that really paid off for this website was doing the keyword research for the low hanging fruits. For some time, actually the people thinks they have to do the keyword research from scratch. For example, putting a keyword into the Ahrefs Keyword Explorer and then searching from there. But what we did for this website was And we do this all the time because when you are ranking for a keyword, a lot of other variations starts to rank as well. So what we do is we put the keyword, so your website inside Explorer, and then we go and try to identify the keywords, which are the keywords are ranking between 15 or it's like a 12 to number 25 or 30, and then we have not created the content for them and they are ranking for another page which is not meant to rank, correct? So that's how we pick those keywords. And believe me, every third month we have like 50 or I would say at least 20 pages of the keywords, 20 keywords for the 20 pages at least, which we can use. And once we publish them, they immediately rank in like between top three. And this has happened to this website a lot of the times. And then similarly, if I talk about the PR, I would say like keep this thing, because I have a journalism background, because I would be graduating next month. So I would say I would always keep the PR thing in my game, always.
Yeah, a lot of great stuff covered there, and congratulations on graduating. Sorry to flip this over, but what have you tried with this site that hasn't worked out for you?
So basically, I would not answer like in this website, but overall as well. I would say like I was never good with 301 redirects. Yes, we did a really small 301 redirect that just counts for like maybe 30 to 45 links in total, or maybe sorry, less than 40 links. We tried it. The reason was in this niche, everybody was jumping. He was utilizing the expired domain. So I would say like there are two reasons why I think it did not work. The first was I was never confident about it. The reason was since the day first, I set up the foundation of this website for being a brand, and I don't want to basically, I would say, thread the entire everything of this business just on a 301 redirect. When they works, and when they don't, do not at all. So I would say that was the reason I just did not do the 301 redirect more than that, because when I saw like, and the 301 redirect I'm talking about, that was just to test a thing, and that was not to basically elevate the authority of this website. So I would say 301 redirect was a thing which I never wanted to do, and that didn't work as well for us. I would say I would answer the question in this way, basically, because I believe 301 redirects or things like this, endanger the future of the website, or I would say the long-term things of the website. So that's why it just didn't work, because I didn't want it to work. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It seems pretty clear that the majority of your traffic comes from organic search through SEO. Have you tried any other forms of marketing at all for this site?
So basically, Craig, I never tried the paid advertisement for this website. However, I was building up the Facebook pixel audience because I had a pixel on this website, so I was tracking that for the future thing, but I never tried the paid advertisement. However, I think in 2018, in the start of 2019, we did a lot of work on Pinterest, and that brings a little bit traffic today as well. So other than that, you asked me about the email list. So yes, we never tried it, and I think there can be a great potential. And to be honest, this was like building an email list was on our next plan to do it. But unfortunately, we have not done it yet. And one thing I wanted to say a little bit more about your last question about the 301 redirect. So basically, in graph of this website, which is listed at like there are some months, especially I won't call the names of those months, but there was some month where we went down, and that was just for 1 or 2 months, I would say. And that is recently, and I can explain that to the buyer exactly what I'm just saying. But just because I don't want to disclose everything, so I am not naming those months. So there was a time when this basically we were getting the less traffic. The reason was one of our competitor actually sold his website at the Empire Slippers, and the new owner like right away did the 301 redirect to the new name. And for 1 month, that site dominated. And for the other month, that site dominated. But right now, when I look at that, that is falling from the cliff. So that was another reason. And one thing which just came to my mind is in this website is one of the oldest website, because the people in this niche were building the websites and then they were gone, like maybe for 1 year and then 1.5 year. And I would say this website is one of the oldest websites. And if I have to like count how many old websites I still see today, I won't say like more than 3 to 4 big competitors who have been playing the long game. And that was because most of the people were coming on the 301 redirects and then they were going the similar way.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if a listener wants to find out more information about that, they can contact the seller, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, so you've touched upon these, but just to sort of crystallize it, if you were to keep the business, what are some ways that you would try to grow it?
Right now on my screen, I have a growth plan, which I had this for this website because we always make like a quarterly plan. So if I would be the buyer who would buy this business, first thing which I would suggest him to do would be basically covering a whole silo in a new category, because the way we have been working for this website, and we do the same for other websites as well, that is covering the entire silo once and then moving on to the next. So I would say right now we have covered up one silo or maybe two silo, and still that is making a really good money. So I would suggest him like moving on to the other categories and then creating more content. And the second thing which I would say, I think this was on my like top priority list, that was starting the YouTube channel. The reason was I always kept this business as a brand. I saw it like all the time, I saw it as a brand. So starting the YouTube was my next thing. And I think I have some relations and the people who can be like a really, really beneficial in order to start the YouTube. And I can connect the buyer with them. And they were really excited. So the same way, and you know what, if a buyer actually starts a YouTube, what will happen? Not only he will basically create the content for the YouTube, he can utilize the same content for the website, for the article as well, because we can help him structure the article in a way, or the script of the video in a way like that, like help him creating the content for both of the like channel at the same time. And the other thing which I see as an opportunity, or I would say, to build the relationships in this niche with the other people, specifically the influencers or the big giants. I would say this was the third thing do on our quarterly plan, and that was to basically start the podcast, because that helps people make more relationships, that helps you get more products on your, basically to get more products to review. And one thing I think which I have forgot to mention in the entire interview, that was we were getting the products from the manufacturers and that was completely free. So I would say podcast can help people make more relations. And similarly, I would say email marketing definitely. And then if someone is really capable of doing like drop shipping, and if he have any kind of e-commerce background, then I think they should start the drop shipping as well, and then actually doing the daily deals. And then at last, if they can do the social media as well. And if they keep this business for so long and then they become at a really good position, I would suggest them basically doing the private label products and then maybe doing the FBA with it. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. With how granular you can get with the data, how you set it up will be a good way to understand what sort of content's doing well and what's not so well, and then you can repurpose that high-performing content. Great stuff. So as for the day-to-day work on this site, what sort of work do you do on this site for maintenance?
So Craig, basically I would answer that in a way. First, let me make the two scenarios. First, if I would have to just like maintain this business, I don't think I need more than maybe like a 1 to 4 hours per week, because the only thing I would need to do is changing the affiliate links. And because we have been through the COVID-19 crisis, when like the products were going crazy, the people were like emptying the shelf. And like, for example, we have just today, updated the link, and tomorrow in specifically like March and April, I'm talking about the March and April things, like that listing, that link had no more product to sell. And that was the time, we decided we should have to take care of, we are not linking to the unavailable products. So I would say I just change the links, and you can even outsource that as well. So I think having like 1 to 4 hours for a buyer would be enough. But in the second scenario, what I believe I was doing was, because I was basically handling this business in a way which I was aiming like in a December of this year, it would be at least $1 million brand. And hopefully it will be. It doesn't matter who owns this. So I was like investing my time on PR thing. Then I was investing the time of making the plans for the content. Like these are the same quarterly plans which I showed. These are the work I was doing. But in order to maintain this business, I don't think you would have to spend more than like 1 to 4 hours per week, and maybe like less than that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's crystal clear. And what skills or requirements do you think there are for someone who is not familiar with this niche or business model?
I think I really appreciate you asking this question because I actually wanted to make sure as well the person like who is getting this, like my child, I believe like was just like a child to me. So I think this site is listed at almost like a $600,000. So I believe the people would be trained enough already because someone is like almost like spending $500,000. So I think the people good in SEO and maybe way more than us can be a great match for this business. Or other than that, the hustler like me can be a good match for this as well. Like who knows like what is SEO, how to create the content. If someone is getting into the business as well, for example, the people from other industries, like for example, the real estate person and he's an investor. Yes, just to maintain this business, you do not have to do a lot of things. I think having to know like what is a good content, what is a bad content, like initial information can be a good as well. I don't think so. You need like something really, really specific and complicated in order to run this business. We have structured this business in a way like everybody can operate. For example, we have the best templates which you can fill. Like literally, you can fill everything. They are the templates, and you can send that to the writers. And the writers know their job as well. And then, believe me, we have set up an entire team for the people who are working on this website, and definitely they are going it as well. For example, I'm talking with the writer, so you can like basically put the keyword in it and they will know like what to do next. Let's say if you are utilizing tool like ClearScope or maybe the Market Muse, we have set up that template in a way like you just have to fill the guidelines and the writers will know what to do with that. And I think this is a really good and easy thing for the buyers who don't have a lot of experience.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be great for them to have those writers who are well trained to help them produce the content and fulfill their content production plans. What do you think are the biggest risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
Great. Just like other businesses, like the same kind of businesses, Google update can be a risk for this business. Other than that, I don't think so. At listing, I saw like affiliate thing was mentioned too, but I don't think so that happening at all. Maybe, but yeah, who knows about the Amazon? Like they like, I would say, hammered the commission rates in April 2020, and maybe they will like completely shut down their Amazon thing sometime in the future. But still, I won't say that is a big risk because we have already established a foundation in a way like because we have already diversified the revenue of that. I don't think the revenue can be a risk, but I would say Google updates can be a risk anytime. And as far as Google updates, I have already like earlier of this call, I was explaining like how this website is being rewarded by the Google updates in last 6 to 9 months or maybe a year. And even today, there was an update that is unconfirmed. And there are many times when the Google update is unconfirmed, and one was today as well, and we saw again. So still, I would say, who knows what Google is planning? So Google updates can be a thing. We can say a risk.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, a lot of great stuff covered today, but overall, putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
I would say this business is really worth buying. I'm not being a salesman, but I'm just talking on the foundation I have set up for this business. Most of the time, people actually found the business on the basis of PBNs or maybe like other strategies. And here we have completely like shut them down, which I like told you my personal story. After 2017, I like stopped everything I was doing regarding the PBN thing. So let's just not talk about why it is worthy. Let's just talk about what we have done. So we have done our link building by PR thing. We have been mentioned by Live Bulletin. We have been linked by New York Times. And I'm not bragging, basically. I'm just trying to tell you, I would say, why this business has a really strong foundation. And if buyer actually just keeps doing what we have already doing in terms of PR as well, I think still they can do a lot of work on them as well. And then let's say, and most of the time when it comes to these kind of businesses, I would say link building is something which is considered as a huge risk. And in this business, I have already explained like we have been doing a really good job. I would say at least my team have done a really good job. And we have used like guest posts, we have used resource pages, we have done a skyscraper as well. And then like talked already all about like the PR thing. And if I talk about the content side, I think most of the people knows what happened with the content with like previous updates back in when I was just a kid, when the content was like completely duplicated and things were like that. But if I talk about the quality of this website, all of the content which we believe or we are counting that as a content is written by the real subject matter experts. Yes, there are few pages, they would be less than 9 or 8 or maybe 10. We never updated because we're not planning to go in that niche, and they are just like hiding somewhere in this website, just like in a grave. But other than that, every content is written by the real subject matter experts, not the generic writers. And just because we are hiring the real subject matter experts, we have to pay them accordingly. We have to make sure the quality, and we were most of the time people do not have the real products, the writers do not have the real products on hand, so they just write whatever is found on the Amazon page. But in this niche, the people who are writing, they had the products, either they already had that product they were reviewing, or even if they had to get the product to somewhere, maybe going to a shop and then borrowing the products to review, they were doing that. At some time we were getting as well. And now we have talked about the link building and the content. So I think that makes this business a really good business, a worthy business to keep or to buy. Because one more point which I would say here is, which is a really strong point, which might give a confidence to the buyer, which is this website is one of the oldest website in this niche, because the people were coming, people were gone. The reason was the foundation was not set up in a way this business have. So they were coming on a 301 redirect, and now they have gone, or maybe now they are getting the traffic like in comparison to what they were getting before, like that doesn't match at all. So I think this makes this business a really good business to buy. And one thing, just because we were doing like this kind of I think so we have done a good efforts on the content, so that as a byproduct we have got a huge number of real photos on our Flickr, which we have been utilizing as, I would say, for the link building strategies as well, like a link reclamation. So this pretty much sums it up.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of depth to this business and a lot of areas for a buyer to explore. So excellent stuff.
Yeah, I can keep talking about it.
Yeah, forever. It's a passion project and there's a lot going on with the business. So excellent stuff. Regarding the sale of this business, would you commit to a non-compete?
Yeah, sure, I can. No problem.
And how much support are you willing to offer buyers? Are you going for the standard 30 days of email and Skype support?
I can now take 5 more minutes as well on this question as well, which might not be huge, but Craig, yes, I will provide whatever support you guys ask the seller to provide. But other than that, because I believe, I really, really believe in the potential of this website and the way I was growing, I believe this is just like a baby to me. So yes, I can go beyond that, and maybe I can come up on the call 2 more times. No problem.
Excellent. And are you open to negotiating something like an earnout?
Basically, I would be more interested in the offers that would be basically more on cash side of thing, like upfront cash, like entire cash. Because the reason is why I decided to sell this business, while I have like say 1,000 things, which is like basically what I'm just saying is, when I have said like 1,000 pros of this business, why would I sell it? So basically the reason was I have some other business similar to this as well, which needs the cash as well. So first I wanted to make sure like I'm investing my time. I know like sometimes in the life where when you believe in something, you believe like this is the best thing I have ever got. But then next year you will see, yes, this is a great potential as well. And I think this is not something which I would say is a bad, but I think this is a good thing. So there are some other projects of mine which needs cash as well. So I would be more interested in cash out.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to share that I might have missed?
I tried my best, believe me, but still there can be things which I can talk to the buyer on call. No problem.
Yeah, absolutely. They can talk to you if they have any questions still. So brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time. It's been great talking to you.
Sure, man. Thank you so much. Take care.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 53402. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.